Procrastinating is a form of fear, and it is difficult to acknowledge fear. But the truth is that you cannot create anything of value without both self-doubt and self-belief. Without self-doubt, you become complacent. Without self-belief, you cannot succeed. You need both. When you fall into the funk of competition, think of literature. Think of the early bloomers and the late bloomers. Think of the many experimental novels that do not follow the traditional form. Your story does not have to have a traditional arc. There is an Igbo saying, Mbonye jikuni ututuya. It translates literally to, whenever you wake up, that is your morning.
After how many years, I finally tried and I did it. When this year started, I had absolutely no idea of what I wanted to do. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things that I want, but I don't know. I did not know how I want to achieve, how I was going to achieve it, or the steps in which I was going to take to achieve it. And this year started with the great lock-in. In fact, this lock-in period has been existing. I think the lock-in trend has been existing since last year. Is it December or it's November? In this space where I knew that I wanted financial independence, it was one of the reasons why I even quit my master's last year, so that I could go all in and focus on what I want to do and who I want to become. But the truth is, I have been in the in-between, and in this particular season, because I'm still in the in-between, this year started with, like I was seeing a lot of people, they were all in on their crafts. They were doing things. Okay, the rain was to fall. They were doing things. You could see people's energy. It was so real, so much that I even started a 302 challenge. In fact, I could feel the pressure. That I started a 302 challenge where I wanted to push myself to post content every single day on TikTok, and this was all because of that pressure. With all of the pressure online, I even got pressurized to even like create a vision board for myself and all of that. And it was really February, I think late February, by one of my favorite creators, and she was like, she has not created a vision board for herself for the year. And I was like, huh? Someone who I look up to, how come? And it just hit me. I started asking myself, like, what do I really want? What do I want? Do I want all of the things I want? Because there's a lot of pressure on what people are doing online. Why am I doing what I'm doing? The 302-day challenge was not even easy because there was a lot of inconsistent electricity, bad network. I started asking myself questions. I was like, am I doing this because I actually want it, or am I doing this because I'm seeing other people do it? I'm seeing how it's working for other people. And my main focus for even creating content on TikTok was because I felt like it's an easier platform to grow. I can grow my followers from there, then post on YouTube, and like that switch, I'm going to have subscribers on YouTube. But I've been thinking about it lately because this year has really forced me to go back in time and to ask myself questions on what my childhood self wanted. And for a very long time, since I discovered YouTube, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. And I was like, why don't I focus where I actually want to grow? Why don't I focus on what I want to become rather than focusing on how other people do things? And that has just been like the switch I needed. And this is me in June. Finally, I think like I've been putting one step in front of the other, especially on my Substack. I started a newsletter, guys. A newsletter called Confessions from the In-Between. I don't know if I've told you guys in a video before, but I started this newsletter, Confessions from the In-Between, because I feel like I'm no longer where I used to be. While I'm happy with where I am at, but I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and there's a particular place that I want to be. So I started this newsletter because I wanted to become financially independent. I've been doing everything possible to become financially independent. If you have been following me for some time now, you know I'm an artist. I tried making art to sell on TikTok, but I don't know. I just felt like that's not, in as much as I may sell my art pieces one day, I just felt like that's not really the path for me. So this is a the year has already gone half, and I feel like I'm finally figuring out what I want to do for the rest of the year. I watched this video where they spoke about how Michael Jackson had this script he had written, and he always looked at it, envisioned and visualized it. I've heard a lot of people say about that, including Bob Proctor. So that is, I think I finally figured out, like, not actually where I want to be or how I'm going to go there, but I think the pieces are finally coming together, because for the first time in my life I've been consistent with something, and it's my Substack. I have 7 subscribers now, but I have been so consistent. I post notes. I think more than even 4 notes daily, and I even post sometimes more than 2 articles per week, and it has been so beautiful. And I've just decided to hold a bull by the horns and tell myself that if this is what I want, then let me just start taking the necessary steps towards it. Because in as much as everybody is saying YouTube is hard, I've seen people who have grown 200 and something thousand subscribers within a year on YouTube. Life is so crazy. You never really know what can happen until you try. I even wrote this Substack. I was like, I hate being almost there, because that's exactly what the in between feels like. You're like, oh, this step I'm going to pick, oh, I'm finally going to reach it. God is like, no, that's not meant for you. And there are even some doors that have opened, and funny enough, I'm the one that has rejected them. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. That doesn't look like what's for me. I've been thinking about it lately. I even watched a video, and the person was like, don't push away your preparation. It's not punishment. You want all of these things, right? Yeah, you want a lot of things, and you're putting one foot in front of the other. You're taking the necessary steps to go there, but you're not getting there. And he said it's actually preparation. Don't push away your preparation, because it's not punishment, it's preparation for the place that you want to go. Maybe you're taking longer because your blessings are bigger. And I was like, amen, oh. In as much as I hate almost being there and all of that, but when you come to look at it from a different perspective, you realize that it's really God just preparing you for where you want to go to. And I'd rather be prepared for where I'm going to than to have the opportunity and not be prepared for it, and get driven out because I cannot handle it. So if you're somebody that has been confused, you feel like everybody already had what they want to do, and I've been starting and restarting, that's the whole point of it, to keep trying until you finally figure out who you want to be. It's really funny how, it's not funny, it's really beautiful how God can take you back to the place where you started. I started writing maybe 13, 14 years ago, but I got discouraged, so I stopped writing. And here am I'm writing again. All the mountains I've had to climb and the valleys I've had to go through just to come back to these points. I'm really amazed by how God works. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't be discouraged if you're just feel like your year is just starting in June. It's okay. It's okay. And remember that God has not forgotten you. The sun rises every day. If God makes the sun rise every single day, know that you are still in his hands. He's just preparing you for what he has ahead. From one person who is waiting to another, I'm wishing you an amazing, in fact, whatever thing you want to do, I'm wishing you an amazing journey, an amazing, in fact, experience. Stay blessed. Bye bye.